Favoritism exists because there are bigger creators and smaller creators. Me, for example, I'm a very small YouTuber and I have no influence on situations like this, at least for now. YouTube's algorithm, which might be a little defective, may I add, tries out different trends with different content creators. If they perform well, they are going to land on the YouTube front page X times more than anybody else, of course. So theoretically, this should be an individual occurrence for every single trend that is going on right now, right? Like for every single YouTuber. Wrong. If they see a pattern of a specific content creator that does slightly better than others do, the algorithm has a favorite and is going to boost this creator to #trending almost every single time. Imagine there was a boat and 5 people seeking help because they're out of power and they can't swim anymore. The boat has to get back to land real faster, and they see a person that is just a little bit more likely to survive, let's say by 2%. They're going to save this person who is just a little bit more likely to survive than the others. But what if I told you the boat would have actually had 4 spaces left and they just left too early? What if I told you that after being saved, those people could have done their job just as well as the one person that was actually saved? So basically that is favoritism, and a big reason why even smaller creators, especially in the gaming sector of YouTube, are unable to grow and take off and skyrocket onto YouTube's front page. Even this video might not make it onto the front page just because the algorithm knows I'm not known yet and might never grow that much, right? Anyways, this leads me to Markiplier. Why Markiplier, you might ask? Well, he was actually dragged into 2 of those YouTube algorithm error stories. Not because it's some kind of favoritism from other YouTubers to drag Markiplier into negative things, no. It's because he's one of the most relatable channels on this platform for many people. Corey played a game called The Mortuary Assistant, but he got an age restriction for that. Why? Because he played the exact same game, had the exact same part of the game in his video as Markiplier did, and Mark did not get an age restriction. Any normal YouTuber would go ahead and complain about such an useless act of the algorithm called age restriction, because I'm sure that I would bet my used $100 phone that can't even start up Google properly that there's not a single human behind the age restriction process. So Corey did go ahead and appeal for a retraction of the age restriction, and guess what? They doubled down and rejected it. Corey then contacted a person he trusts so he can actually know what's up, you know? Like a person that has to do with YouTube and can contact them easily. He accused YouTube of racism and favoritism, which I understand. More to racism later. He also told them about the fact that they didn't give Mark an age restriction, but they gave him one. After that, they freaking removed the age restriction. They removed it. Corey probably expected them to triple down, not double down. Not that this is a bad thing, because probably 70% of his audience didn't verify for age-restricted content yet, or they simply aren't 18 yet. But the sheer disrespect and audacity from YouTube that they needed Mark's video to prove his innocence is unbelievable to me. I think that this is the time that YouTube uploads an apology like right now to their channel on their own platform, or things might go even more wild. A lot of inconveniences, but now it should be over, right? No. After thinking about it for not too long, they re-age restricted his video. Imagine re-age restricting a video, but not only his video got age restricted again, Markiplier's video got age restricted now as well. At this point I feel extremely sorry for Mark, because just everybody seems to relate to his face, to his content, and play the exact same games. So much that they drag him into negative shit like that. Moist Critical talked about the situation as well, because he experienced something similar some time ago, except it was a copyright strike. Of course involving Markiplier and resulting in him getting one as well. YouTube gives out copyright strikes for free. Like, they have no problem with it, as you know. The next thing that happened to both of them is YouTube apologizing to them and removing the copyright strike. I just hope the same thing happens to Corey and Mark again, except their age restriction gets removed and they won't only have like half of the audience watching. I just want YouTube to rework their algorithm a little bit, rethink the connection between YouTube Shorts and long-term content for other creators, something like that, and thus treat their employees, which are all of us YouTubers, a little bit better and in a way that is way more fair for everybody. Employees should be treated equally like in every other company on this entire freaking planet, right? The reasons Corey and I see racism involved here are simple. If you aren't logged into YouTube and check the front page for human beings, do you see a lot of people who are not white? I don't think so. Second, Corey came back to YouTube after a very long time, and nothing happened in between. But as soon as he uploaded a new video, a video from like 9 months ago got a copyright claim. I've never heard about anyone else having those issues. Is it just because he's a black man that is just a little bit too famous for YouTube? The next thing they did is actually make a program for black content creators, as if they're not good enough on their own. Like they made an own project for them to make them better content creators, man. Like, what the fuck is that? Like, right now we're living in 1920 and not 2022. You know what I'm talking about? After uploading his video that had the exact same title, without the question mark, of course, as this video has, his video was almost instantly flagged for ad suitability. I wonder why. Either the headquarters of YouTube check top 10 trending every millisecond they possibly can to avoid them standing in a bad spotlight, or their algorithm is just better than we think it is in this one aspect. Maybe it is already good enough to avoid them standing in a bad spotlight, but you're telling me it won't be good enough to take care of their employees properly? Dude, I'm out. Back in the same video on another day, and guess what I just figured out? They removed both age restrictions, both of them. So it's just like in the same way they did it with Mark and Moist Critical. So I hope dramas like this won't have to happen anymore, because this is just awful. I just hope this doesn't happen again anymore.